Welcome to the weekly sneaker review. I am your host, Jacques Slade, and let's get right to it.
My kick's on fire.
So, you know how you hear that a shoe is going to be released on one day, but then you see a tweet saying that it's going to be released on another day, but then it doesn't actually release on that day, but you see from a website that the shoe is actually going to be released another day, but then the next day that website tweets that the shoe has actually been delayed, but then another website says that the shoe is actually going to be delayed another 2 months and won't be released until June. Right? You love that, don't you? Because I don't. So basically what I'm talking about is the Nike Air Yeezy 2, and according to Complex, the shoe is actually going to release in June in both the wolf gray and the black and pink colorway. Now they had some really great images of the shoe, well, of just the right shoe of the wolf gray. I don't know why they just had one, but they just had one. But they are saying that the shoe is going to release in June, although there is not a specific date. So we'll just have to wait and see. Who's ready to spend a lot of money on basketball shoes? You are? I'm glad you are. So guess what? Earlier this week, Nike Store tweeted that they're going to release the home and away version of the Nike Basketball Elite Series, which is the LeBron 9, the Kobe 7, and the Nike Hyperdunk 2011, all on the same day, which is April 28th. You know, this means basically that if you want the away version of the shoes, which is the black and gold colorway, which is really hot by the way, you're going to spend $650 plus tax on that day. Oh, what is that? You want both home and away? They're releasing on the same day. Did you know that? And guess what? That means you're going to spend $1,300 plus tax on the same day if you want all 6 pairs. Let that marinate for a second. Son of a... There were quite a few custom kicks that hit the web this week, but one of my favorite was this Air Jordan 5 custom by Hornets from Paris, France. So you see he took an Air Jordan Grape 5 from 2006 and painted the upper all black and used purple and aqua accents on the plastic eyelets. I definitely think this is one of the hotter ones this week, but another one of my favorites, kind of be honest, and I know it makes me kind of feel like a hype beast, was the Nike Air Foamposite Pro Galaxy Custom by Smooth Tip. Guys, I know. All right, fine, forget it. So some other big news this week is that Nike will be adding the Safari option to the Nike Air Force 1 on Nike ID. I said Nike like 10 times in that one sentence. Anyway, so the new Safari option will allow you to put basically Safari print anywhere you want on the Air Force 1. Whether you want it on the toe, the Nike swoosh, the ankle. Definitely, as you can see here in the examples they provided, it looks nice. I like the way it actually looks. I'm a big fan of Nike ID, and adding these different options definitely ups the ante of Nike ID. It makes you really want to create your own shoes instead of getting, going to the store and getting one. This is your way of kind of getting your own shoes. So shout out to Nike and Nike ID for adding the Safari option. The Safari print has always been a big hit with sneakerheads, and I'm glad that they're now bringing it to the Nike Air Force 1 for us on Nike ID. At number 1, we're going to talk about some of our high-profile releases, which is brought to us by Mr. R Sports down in Miami, Florida. So with that said, let's get right to it. Coming up first is the Nike Air Max Nomo, and this will be released in a soar, white, and cyber, and will retail for $140. The second is the Nike Air Diamond Turf 2, which comes in steel, white, and freshwater, and will retail for $120. Third, we have the Nike Air Max Shake Evolve, which will retail for $145 and comes in anthracite, steel, and white. Anthracite, stealth, and white. And finally, we have the Nike Air Max Darwin 360, which was made famous by Dennis Rodman, by the way, which will come in a dark gray, white, anthracite, and cyber, and will cost you $160. Now, part of the price jump is because Nike updated the Air Max with 360 unit. And finally, the newest of the new releases is the Nike LeBron 9, which will be releasing in a pure purple, turquoise, and blue, which will retail for $170. We've actually seen this model quite a few times, but it's actually finally hitting retail, which is pretty good. So again, that one will release for $170. Now, all of these releases are going to be releasing on March 31st, and you can pick them up at Mr. R Sports down in Miami. If you are not in Miami, you can give them a call. They do accept phone orders. They open up at 10 o'clock on March 31st, and their number is 305-534-1253. So make sure you go and check them out. So last week for the question of the video, I asked you guys, was it a win, fail, or whatever for the Nike Air Yeezy 2 in the wolf gray colorway? As I expected, most of you said that it was a win. However, a lot of you thought that the black and pink colorway was definitely better than the wolf gray colorway. And actually I kind of agree. So for this week's question of the video, we're going to leave Yeezy alone. He's caused enough trouble with campers and all things like that. And we're going to talk about LeBron. I know you guys have seen the South Beach version of the Nike LeBron Elite, so I want to know what you think. Is it a win? Is it a fail? Or is it whatever? Let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely read back your comments next week. Now, another thing I was kind of thinking about, instead of win, fail, or whatever, maybe I should do win, fail, or like hype beast released. I want to find something to replace whatever, because whatever is just too ambiguous. If you have any ideas, let me know down in the comments. Well, that's the end of the weekly sneaker review. I am your host, Jacques Slade. Don't forget to favorite this video, like and comment and all that stuff, subscribe and all that stuff if you haven't. If Twitter and Facebook is your thing, that information is down in the description. Again, I am your host, Jacques Slade. This is the weekly sneaker review, and I will see you next week. Peace. The Air Jordan 4 Cavs. Now, originally, most of us were calling these the Air Jordan 4 Knicks. Now, most of us are calling these the Air Jordan 4 Cavs. There hasn't been an official word from Jordan Brand whether these are the Knicks or the Cavs. However, based on Mike's rivalry with the Cavaliers, we're thinking that these are the Air Jordan 4